Hello, my friends. Jacob's here one more time. I wasn't expecting to come to all of you, but a lot has happened in the last 24 hours. As I'm sure you're all aware, about 3 o'clock in the morning, I woke up. I think it was about 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know. Maybe even earlier. And of course, the Dan's already up because she's got work to do, and I go online and I find out everything that's happening in Israel.
There are a lot of things I can't report right now because of operational security, but things are very, very bad along the Gaza border. Small arms fire, continued rocket fire into southern and central Israel. Soldiers doing what they can to hold lines around here, but it is a very, very bad situation. One of the worst that I've seen between Israel and Gaza.
And man, when it happened, I was like, oh, okay. You know, I was already kind of on the lookout for things that were going on this week. And I had this weird thought. I thought to myself, well, let me look about a year ago and let me see what I was talking about a year ago from today. So I do. And it turns out I actually did a show that was kind of a warning. It was about this show right here. It was about the 62 weeks of Daniel. Which the 62 weeks of Daniel, if you're not familiar, has to do with the destruction of that place, for the rebuilding, things to take place. This is like a big prophecy, and so I'm a little beside myself because I think this is terrible, really terrible. Like the news that started to come out, the first reports that I saw. Besides all of the terrible images that you see, and I'm not going to share here. I saw like 22 people. That was the big number. All the papers were hitting 22. Now it's much more than that. But of course, once again, I get a little ping. Start to think, well, we've been talking about this. It's very strange. Do a video a year ago where I talk about this very thing. And I was trying to get everybody on the same page. If you remember correctly back then, there was a batter. He's a very famous Yankee player, Aaron Judge. I kept telling everybody, here comes the Judge. Aaron, very well known back in the day in Israel, Moses' brother. When Moses went up to the mountain, Aaron built the golden calf because the people were like, give us a god to worship. So they started going after false gods. When Moses came down, he got very, very upset. A lot of people ended up passing away because of it, broke those 10 commandments, and he made he made everybody melt those idols down and destroy those idols, kind of get everything back on track. At the time, Aaron Judge, he had like 60, and by that show he had 62. So I went into the whole thing about Daniel, and I talked about this coming prophecy of the days that were to come, which on the channel I said that this is going to be a very interesting year going into next year. Not that I don't have any insight, I'm just, I don't even know. I couldn't tell you, in a year exactly, this is going to happen. I didn't know that. Just like every time I come on here and I'm like, oh, look at this, what another quinky dinky do. I don't want to minimize any of this stuff. It's terrible. And if I'll share a little bit at the end of this video, you'll see that I was really just hoping people would get their act together. Because right around that time, they had like what we call the sign of Jonah appeared, and I did a whole video about that. How, it's like if you get your act together, if people, just really put their best foot forward, maybe we could, we wouldn't have to worry about these days to come. Now, Israel was infiltrated. By land, by sea, people were like flying in, with kites. They were coming in. I don't even know if any of this. I don't even know the legitimacy of any of this stuff. It seems so foreign. So many people were sharing so many videos, and X was working overtime with community notes saying this was the Israelis, not the Palestinians or whatever else. And now we know that Hezbollah's involved as well. So it's not just Hamas, now it's Hezbollah too, and it's gotten really bad. Gotten so bad that early this morning, Benjamin Netanyahu, he came out and he says, we are at war. Telling everybody, this is the thing. This is why it's so important for all of us to really pray today. Now, Coco on X shared a video of an Uber driver that was just driving some people around, and I can't verify this, but it was frightening to think, because we have this crisis going on where so many people are infiltrating the United States, and you think to yourself, could that happen here, where everybody just kind of breaks through and is there, and then boom, next thing you know. This is what they're calling. They're saying that this is it. That's what Israel's enemies are saying. They're saying that this is the greatest moment. This is it. This is the end. This is the end of this terrible regime. And it's all about that mosque. It's all about the Alaska mosque that's on the Temple Mount. It's all about that, which is ironic, because a year ago, I talked about how it was all about that, and that they were going to build a new temple and everything else, and that we were going to see this new day. It's weird, because they signed the Abrahamic Accords. Donnie Darkened on X.com. He's a cool channel. He tweeted out, and I didn't even do the math, that it was like 3 years and 22 days, this beginning of this war, from when they were signed. Stranger than that is that, do you remember that eclipse that took place? And I said it's the beginning of Jacob's trouble on December 14th, 2020. We got another eclipse coming. I'm going to be doing a show on that soon. Do you remember how I said that would be the beginning of Jacob's trouble? Well, from there, it is exactly 33 months and 22 days. What does it mean? I don't know. These are interesting numbers. These are numbers that we've become pretty well acquainted on September 11th of 2023, because this is, of course, a lot of people are saying that, the Biden administration, they made a deal with Iran, sent over $6 billion on September 11th.
This money can only be used for humanitarian purposes, and the Iranian regime never gets their hands on it. But it's not like they're going to ask for a withdrawal of all $6 billion at once. We would never approve that. So the money will get parceled out over the course of years here.
And Trump said that, can you believe that crooked Joe Biden has given $6 billion to this regime in Iran, that money to be used for all over the Middle East and indeed the world? He puts that out on 9/11. Just like a month ago, he put that out, like as if he knew.
And it's deeply unfortunate that some are playing politics when so many lives have been lost and Israel remains under attack. The facts are these. No U.S. Taxpayer dollars were involved. These were Iranian resources that Iran had accumulated from the sale of its oil that were stuck in a bank in South Korea. They have had from day one, under our law, under our sanctions, the right to use these monies for humanitarian purposes. They were moved from one account to another in another country to facilitate that use. As of now, not a single dollar has been spent from that account. And again, the account is closely regulated by the U.S. Treasury Department, so it can only be used for things like food, medicine, medical equipment.
Now, a lot of people are saying that money's tracked and everything else, and we can't track that back. But still, $6 billion, a lot of money. But Aaron Judge, that was the thing. So I did this video, and it was really all about Aaron Judge, Aaron. And it had to do with the idols that everybody had worshipped. So God was like, I'm gonna take care of this. I got to put an end to this. You haven't stopped your nonsense. I'm putting an end to it. That's what happened. As Moses got closer to the camp, he saw the idol, and he saw the people dancing around the idol. This made him so angry, he threw the stones and he broke them into pieces on the ground from the mountain. He melted the idol down that the people made, and he ground it to powder, and then he scattered it in the water, and then he made everybody drink it. It's like when we're drinking that wormwood tea. It's like you won't get your act together. You're going to continue on with your idolatry. You're going to continue to worship your idols. Strange, because around the exact same time that all of this is happening, there was an American tourist who went into the museum in Jerusalem and smashed a bunch of Roman statues, saying that they were idolatrous and they were against the Talmud. Now he's facing prosecution. He's going into court. The lawyer that's on his side says he's suffering from Jerusalem syndrome, where you go to the Holy Land and you're overcome and you begin to believe that you're a biblical figure. So he needs a psychiatric evaluation because, of course, that's not normal. That a bunch of idols are being smashed at the exact same time that this thing is going down about a year after I talked about how that's what was going to come. Strange. Stranger still is exactly, I think it's exactly 23 weeks. I think it's 23 weeks exactly. There were a couple of videos that I even shared around where you saw the Israeli flag being torn down. One flag was torn down by a crow. And then there was another video that just magically appeared around the exact same time where a cat tore down the flag. So here you see the crow just picking at the flag. I did a video about this. I said, oh, it's not looking good. Looks like something's coming. And then the cat, same thing. It's very strange. All of these things, 23 weeks, the numbers, the fact that this happened on the 50th anniversary of the Yom Kippur War. 50 years. It's like they're going to be remaking this whole area. Is this going to get bigger? Are they going to be able to bring this to an end? Is this going to spiral into something else? This is what a lot of people are concerned about. They're thinking, oh, now you got to worry about Taiwan. Now you got to worry about this. Now you got to worry about that. I worry because if you look at the thumbnail of the video I did about the 62 weeks of Daniel, you see who's there on the cover. Right in the back, you got the missile going up. At the time, we were talking about the Poseidon, that nuclear sub that is like going like missing or whatever. And we called it the Hunt for Red October. And we're in Red October. And what do you know? The Phillies, right? Red October. They put out their little video. And who's being featured? Their pitcher, number 22. Just feels like something is happening. So I tell Dan, I go, I got to get to sleep. It's because I'm under the weather. I didn't even feel like doing a show today. I'm under the weather. I don't know what it is, allergies or whatever. I'm okay. I'll be fine. But I go back to sleep and I have a terrible nightmare. And I'm in a couple of different places. I thought that I was in Italy and I thought that I was in Iran. I don't know why. I just thought those were the places. That's just what came to mind. I had no idea where I was. But there were two major earthquakes. I had this terrible dream. I put it out on X. Then what happens a couple of hours later? We hear about this earthquake over here, this earthquake over there, Mexico, Afghanistan. It's just strange. All these things happening. Strange. Papua New Guinea, another one. I did feel like I was in Italy, though, so I'm not like saying, pay too much mind to that. But don't you feel like there's something more going on? Don't you feel like it? I don't know, but I do find it strange that 1 year before this all broke out, this is what I was saying. Especially with the days to come. So what does this all mean? What does it all mean? That's the question. What does it all mean? Let me put this up one more time. Take a look at this. What does this all mean? The hunt is on. Yom Kippur is today. God's forgiveness is here for you. The ball is in your court. What are you going to do with it? Yom Kippur is a day to bring about the reconciliation and forgiveness between people and between individuals. That means that you need to go to people that you've wronged right now and say, I'm sorry. And then you got to go to God. That's the way it works. You're supposed to not shower. You're supposed to be uncomfortable. You're supposed to make yourself feel like it would feel if the love and light of God wasn't on your life right now, where you can go take a hot shower if you're blessed. It's to remind you that you may even be ripped away from your daily routine and everything you think you know, because, well, a time of mourning and repentance is upon us. And perhaps the world just won't change on its own. It's a lot easier to pray to God and to return to God when you're on your knees. Problem is, most people won't go to their knees until life drags them down. And I think that that's going to stink for a lot of people. Because I think that's going to happen. I do. I don't know how. I do. So let's take a look at 62 for a second. Because this is the 77 weeks of Daniel. This has to do with the rebuilding of Jerusalem. Okay, so let's just go to verse 25. And this is going to start to make a little more sense to you. Okay? It's going to make a lot of sense, especially when you see all the other stuff. That is just, there's no way this stuff is just coincidental. There's just no way. So know you this and understand that from the time the word goes out to restore and rebuild Jerusalem until the Anointed One, the ruler, comes, there will be 77 and 62 sevens. That means week. 62 weeks. It will be rebuilt with streets and a trench, but the body of Christ, my friends, and I've been saying this for a long time. I haven't said, oh, it's going to be pretty. I said it's going to be built in times of trouble. It's in my novel, right? If you've read my novel, you know September 2022 is in my novel. Time of hard times. Oh. Now, after 62 weeks, sevens, the Anointed One will be put to death and will have nothing. The people of the ruler who will come will destroy the city and the sanctuary. The end will come in like a flood. War will continue until the end. Desolations have been decreed. He'll confirm this covenant with many for 1 week, one seven. Now, all of this, I believe, plays out like spiritually. I always do. I think that it'll probably play out literally too. I think it probably has to a certain extent, but spiritually speaking, 100%, because the temple that's really rebuilt, it's not a literal temple. We're the temple. So it's already been rebuilt in times of trouble. It's being rebuilt now in times of trouble. But at the same time, they're rebuilding the other one. At the same time, they got these 5 red heifers. They're ready to, because they want to do everything by the book, everything by the law. They're ready to, because they believe this is it, because they've brought this together. And at the same time all this is happening, we have these amazing signs. 62. Whew. Wild. This is not a great thing that's going on right now. It's got me concerned. But once again, if anything, this is the thing that I want you to pay attention to. If anything, pay attention to this channel. 50 years from the Yom Kippur War. And here we are. And I do that video 1 year ago. And look at the title. Unbelievable. X marks the spot on Yom Kippur and judgment is served. I wish there was more that we could do than just pray. I wish this world was a different place. I hate seeing these things. The videos are horrible. This morning I didn't know what to say, so I just wrote this poem. Heartbreak. Oh Lord, how much more can we take? People everywhere motivated by fear and hate, not even sparing women or children for your name's sake. Killing and spilling innocent blood while crying God is great. An end of the people who forsake. Force love to rise in its wake. Help us, Lord, today. 62 weeks of Daniel. There's really, as the title says, there's no denying God's hand in all of this. That should give you hope. Because no matter how crazy things get, if you're putting the right foot forward, if you are repentant of being a terrible, monstrous person, right? We're not perfect. But if you're not a hateful person, you're going to be okay. If you're somebody who wants to do good for others, you're going to be okay. I beg you to really consider saying a prayer if you've never said a prayer before. Just say, Lord, teach me the truth no matter what the cost. I mean, I can't tell you that I know anything. I'm just witnessing what I witness, right? Just, I see this Aaron Judge. Oh, next thing you know, right? 62 hits, Aaron Judge, the judge. Moses Israel, boom. And then there you have it. So, I don't know. Listen, I want to thank a lot of you for all your support. It's so super important. I have a sponsor, and I want to point this out because this company is great. I do laundry with their laundry detergent, trulyfreehome.com. This helps me. Now, so many people signed up and are enjoying it that Steven, he's the owner of the company, man of God, sent me a text that he was watching my last show from the airport. Man of God, amazing guy. You know, it took me a long time to get a sponsor. I've had plenty of sponsors offer themselves to me. I got Noble Gold just reached out to me. I got this guy reach out to me. This guy, I had like Sasquatch Soap reach out to me. But I believe in this company. And he's giving away a $5 trial. You can try it out, $5. Try some laundry detergent, see how it works for whatever it's offering, you know? And if you've already bought, make sure you use code Jacob for, get it delivered to the house. Always put in code Jacob, you get 30% off. But the link to this video, if you go into the description of the video, you go down, you click more, you see a bunch of links. You can get yourself some merch if you want, all the stuff, all the merch, description below from Teespring. You can get yourself a copy of The Call-In, Amazon.com. Got like 1,000 reviews. I think I'm like three or four reviews shy of 1,000 5-star reviews. So if you've read the novel and you love it and you bought it from Amazon, leave me a review. Get me over 1,000. Anything you do helps the channel. Patreon, we got a new live chat feature. I'm going to be able to chat with you. I'm going to be able to go in and we'll just chat in Patreon. It's like a new thing. I'm glad that they have that. So I appreciate all you. At Patreon, you get I send you the thumbnail before anybody gets to see it. You know, I send poetry here and there. I don't do much, but it's just that it helps me. I need help. I can't do this alone, you know? And if you don't want to buy anything and you don't have, because everything's so expensive today, all you got to do, hit the like button. Leave me a comment. Share the video around. Tell people about me. Tell people about the well, Jacob's Ladder. Tell them to come on by, have a sip. And when they leave, hopefully they'll take God and Christ with them. Because the days that are coming, I don't know, right? I don't know. But I'm not freaked out. Why am I not freaked out? Because I keep getting one after the other of these confirmations. Is there any denying this? Are there any other channels doing this? You know, it's God. It's not me. I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't. But I do know I love all of you. I do know I'm so grateful for all of you. And I hope that you smash the like on your way out, you share the video around, and you have the best day ever. All right? I'll talk to you soon. I love you. Bye-bye.
September 10th. Mars hangs closer to the Earth than it has in 6,000 years. Like the light that led men from the east to a child in a manger, it could well be a sign of good things to come. Thomas James shall be his name. The world will change because of him. In the small town of Bethel, in a time not unlike our own, a child with a great purpose is born. Years later, alienated by his peers and abused, Thomas suffers a devastating loss. When it appears he has nothing left to live for in the world, this is when his true calling begins. While trying to escape the sinister powers that be, a terrifying vision haunts him. Miraculous events seem to follow the peculiar young man as he struggles to come to terms with what he was born to do. The stage is set. The time is at hand. The truth will rise and a revolution will begin. The startling revelation of who Thomas James is, truly, will change the lives of those around him and set off a chain of events long ago foretold. There is more to this novel than one might think. Inside these pages hides a treasure just waiting to be discovered. So if you've ever wondered if there's more to life, or why it is we suffer, then this story will not only captivate you, it may just open your eyes to a truth that could set you free. Find out what is in us all that makes us heed the calling